Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm going to go ahead and open up the Water Agency regular meeting. It is now 3 o'clock. I'd like to call the meeting to order. Madam Clerk, may we have a roll call, please?
Member LeBeau,
Present.
Member Lopez,
Here.
Member McQueen-LeJean,
Here.
Chair Hernandez.
Here.
Let the record reflect that Vice Chair Thomas is absent, and so is Kendall Lawson, ex officio member.
Okay. I believe we're going to go right into closed session unless there are, do I take public comments now or on the closed session item?
Yes.
Okay. Are there any public comments?
There are no public comments.
Okay. All right. Madam Attorney, would you please read? We're going to go into closed session. The meeting time is now 3 o'clock.
Would you like me to read the
Yes,
closed
could you
session
please
agenda
read it into the record? Yes.
Thank you, Chairman. Yes, we are having one closed session matter. It's for anticipated litigation under Government Code Section 54956.9 subdivision little d2. And the facts and circumstances for that closed session are set out in the agenda packet.
Okay, thank you very much. We'll now recess to closed session. The time is 3:01. Okay, we're coming back to our regular meeting of the Port Hueneme Water Agency. Calling this meeting to order. The time is 4 p.m. May we have the roll call, please?
Member LeBeau,
Present.
Member McQueen-Lejeune,
Here.
Member Lopez,
Here.
ex officio Member Lawson, and Chair Hernandez.
Here.
Please let the record reflect that Vice Chair Thomas is absent.
Okay, thank you very much. Do we have any public comments for a regular session?
No public comments.
Okay. Agency attorney, can you please provide the closed session report?
Thank you, Madam Chairwoman. By a vote of 4-0, the board authorized the city manager to execute an extension to the tolling agreement.
All right, thank you. This brings us to the consent calendar. We have 4 items on the consent agenda. They will all be enacted in one motion unless an agency member has a request to remove an item for discussion. May I have a motion and a second to approve?
Move to approve the agenda.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion to approve by Director Queen-Lejeune and seconded by Director Michael LeBeau. Okay. Moving on to business items.
Oh, all in favor?
Oh, sorry.
All opposed? Hearing none, motion passes unanimously.
Thank you. All right, business items. Number 5. What's that?
Did we do the motion for the agenda and the consent calendar separately?
There was no,
I believe that was for the agenda approval, and now we'll need a motion for the consent calendar items 1 through 4.
oh, I missed it. Thank you. Okay, we just did the consent calendar. But, so did you guys make the motion for the consent calendar or for the agenda?
I did for the agenda.
Oh, okay.
I had understood it for the agenda.
Okay,
yeah.
sorry about that. All right, we're now on the consent calendar. We have 4 items on the consent calendar. Can I have a motion and a second, please?
I move to approve the consent calendar items 1 through 4.
Okay.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Hearing none, motion passes unanimously.
Thank you very much. All right, now we're at business items. Item number 5, PHWA operating budget and capital projects for fiscal year 2025. Will staff please present the report?
Yes, thank you. And we'll be walking through the budget and some information related to capital projects, and I'm going to be handing it over to Ashley Chaparro, who we haven't updated the slide from when we wrote it last week. At that time, she was interim finance director, but now she is the finance director. So I will hand it over to Mrs. Chaparro.
Thank you.
Congratulations,
Thank you so
Director,
much.
Finance Director.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you, Board, for your time today. We come to present you our upcoming fiscal year 26 proposed budget. The PHWA annual budget provides an estimated revenue and expense based on our estimated water purchase costs, water usage, and our operations and maintenance budget. So what I wanted to show here to basically show side by side the rates that we do get after United Water and Callego's, after they adopt their budget. We take those rates, and I'm showing you prior year 24. I don't think this has a pointer, right? Oh, that kind of worked. Let's see if I can get it to work. Okay, so I'm showing you prior year FY24 here, our current year FY25, and our proposed FY26 budget. And when we look at these rates that, again, we get from United and Callego's, I want to show here that we follow their trend. Because our water purchases is the biggest expense for the PHWA budget, this is gonna lead us as far as how much do we need a budget to then cover those costs. So you'll see we have an increase from FY24 to 25 in the total rates, and then another increase in variable rates to 26. And we mirror that with our PHWA budget down here. You'll see our variable rate increasing from year to year following suit. Same goes for our fixed rate. When we get these rates from United and Callego's, you will see an uptick from 24 to current 25, and then a decrease from 25 to our proposed 26. And we follow that trend here as well with the rates and budget that we are proposing for PHWA. You'll see 282,000 as the overall fixed rate, moving up to 354,000, and then down to 242. Going with the rates, as far as our water usage, we do use current year 25 actual to produce these figures. We have figures through April, and then we do estimate out May and June. And those are the 25 figures you're gonna see there. And then us using those similar figures for 26 of those, including those last couple of month estimates, you'll see it's not much of a change as far as our projected usage goes.
What's the measurement, I'm sorry, what's the measurement you're using? Is it cubic yards,
It's acre feet.
cubic feet?
Acre feet.
Cubic acre feet, okay, thank you.
And so with taking into consideration that estimated usage and those rates, we've prepared our revenue and expense budgets. Those are always equal to each other at 9.1 million for our proposed in FY26. I want to show that this chart shows our current year 25 budget with our year-to-date actual to show that we're pretty on par with our budget. As far as the proposed goes, variable and fixed rates swapped, as shown in that prior slide, that although one goes up, one goes down. So when you kind of total up the current FY25 budget amongst an entity, you'll see that the rates swap. So from 25 to our proposed 26, fixed is going down and variable is going up. But as far as the total for that entity, it's not much change. So we're not proposing increases for an entity overall. You'll see all of our variable and fixed rates up above, and then at the bottom, you will see the Navy's promissory note for their capital debt, and you'll see the miscellaneous revenue there of 1.1 million reflects our CIP budget in its entirety on a separate line item. We are considering this as a separate cost from our regular fixed and variable rates, and that is not built into those rates. On the expense side, again, you'll see that 9.1 total at the bottom. We do not show much change in this operating budget. You'll see wages stay just for the board there. We show the major decrease would be the water plant line item, which is our contract services water plants there. That is due to staff spending more time working on CIP this upcoming year. That $1.1 million CIP is going to take away staff time that will be spent on regular operating maintenance. So we do have to show a change in that budget, showing the increase in CIP side and a decrease for the regular operating and maintenance budget. The specific line items that did go down for the water plant budget are professional services and maintenance supplies. And that's what you're seeing, that 1.6 to 1.5 decrease there. You'll see the major increase in the actual water purchase costs go up, following the rate increases that we mentioned previously, as well as budgeted taker pay fees. For our capital structures improvement line item down there towards the bottom, you also see a decrease that is related to the maintenance decreases that I mentioned. These would be for larger maintenance equipment purchases that are separated typically in that line item, so that's why you see a decrease. Again, you see that 1.1 million for our capital expense budget for this upcoming fiscal year, and it is separate from our regular O&M costs. Here on this slide, we're showing you capital improvement project expenses going pretty far back. You're seeing that not much has been done as far as CIP budgeting and expenditures in the past, which is why in this current fiscal year 25, the team did work really hard to start getting projects in design and a professional services study done to analyze what upcoming CIP projects are our priority. And now we're proposing this big change in the budget of 1.1 million. So I want to make sure you could see on this slide that this is not a typical budget. It's not our typical CIP expense. Because of that, because of it being such a large expense that we're asking for, we do want to request an upfront lump sum payment specifically for covering the CIP costs. This would be separate from monthly billing. This would be billed to the entities in July. You'll see the percent allocated there according to the same percent allocations that we use for the monthly fixed rate, with the city of Port Hueneme taking the 54% share and the entities following our typical monthly allocation. We did mention at our last ACFR presentation that we were seeing a bit of a slow in cash flow, so that's our major reason for asking for these funds up front, so that should we get large bills for large design, large construction bills, we can afford that up front. These are the two projects that are proposed to make up that 1.1, the bag filter replacement project and the tank rehabilitation project, which Dennis can speak more to regarding capital, so I'll pass it on.
Can I just ask a question before you move on, since
Sure.
we're trying to close the door here? On the last slide, when you mentioned that the city provides that 54.27%, and then you said, I think you said the other items are a normal, was it a monthly payment or annual, quarterly payment?
We bill monthly for all of the operating and maintenance expenses according to the rates that were provided on the
Right,
first
so
slide.
those items, that funding will go into this pot, but the 54.27, is that somewhere in our budget?
Yes. So I believe it's in our water enterprise fund budget, correct?
So the regular rates, when we adopted the budget with council for water for a city, we included regular rates, our typical monthlies.
Okay.
This 1.1 million, we then would have to come back to council to adopt, considering the special circumstance and new ask.
Okay, great.
But there are funds available in the water's fund balance.
Right.
Okay, great, thank you.
Mhm.
All right, good afternoon. Chair Hernandez, PHW board members. Just wanted to touch on CIP and just kind of continue and talk about projects that were passed a year ago. What's gone on, what's been completed. So this slide here, the first 4 projects are bolded. Those are major, larger scale projects. As you can see, the low flow pump project, that one's been completed. And happy to say we've saved, we don't have, at the end of June, we'll know the exact numbers, but we've saved close to between $150,000 and $200,000 in water purchase because of that low flow pump project. So we're using less state water and more groundwater. The bag filter replacement project, the design is complete. We're ready to go on construction with that, and we're hoping to go, as Ashley just said, we're hoping to go to construction in the next few months. The water tank rehab, same, design is complete. We just completed that. And again, we're hoping to go to construction in the next 2 to 3 months. And then the big one, the membrane replacement, design is at about 60%. This project is not in the upcoming budget. It'll be in the following year. It was just to have that many, 3 large projects in the budget, we decided to push the membranes to the following year. And that cost, I think it's on the next slide, will be approximately $1.2 million for the membrane replacement. And then the next few projects, they're smaller scale. The air gap manhole coating, that was completed. The FRP grading replacement, complete. And then same with the flexible coupling replacements and the hydraulic analysis. So this list of projects, they were all passed a year ago. And we made some really good progress. And I want to thank the operators at the plant for doing all the smaller scale projects in-house. And then again, the next year is it's going to be a lot. So here's kind of an outlook. So Ashley already touched on it, but the bag filter is going to be about $440,000, and then the water tank rehab about $690,000. So the next 2 years are pretty heavy CIP-wise, but you can see after that it's going to really ramp down. It'll just be a lot of maintenance and smaller in-house projects. So a year from now, we're going to bring back the membrane replacement project, $1.2 million, and then the controls upgrade. And then again, in 27, 28, you're going to see the numbers are going to come way down. So, and I think it's good. We're really jumping on these projects now with labor costs, tariffs, materials, everything is really expensive. So I think it's better. And then with water rates climbing, I think it's better we do them as soon as we can, which is what we're doing, and I think we're better off as an agency that way.
Can you explain the bag filter replacement?
Yeah, so the bag filter, so that's the first stage of filtration. So that protects the membranes. So anything coming from United Water, Pebbles, anything larger that's in that pipeline, it'll capture that and catch that. So it's very crucial we do this before we do the membranes, because it's gonna ultimately protect the membranes.
And that's just one, it's just one item?
It is.
So it's like a 4-inch bag,
It's,
screened mesh bag?
It's, the footprint's about 20 feet by 15. It's the one that's outside the facility
Oh,
there.
got it, yeah, yeah.
So it'll be 2 large canisters about 6 feet long. So we're changing from bag filters to cartridge filters, which is kind of the new style. Any new facility is going to cartridge filters now. So that's what we're looking to upgrade. And I will say, been working with the Navy, with Kendall here, and we are applying for 2 grants for the membranes and for the bag filter. And we're pretty confident, I can't guarantee anything, but we're confident that we're gonna be successful, hopefully. And the Navy's willing to write a letter of support, which is great. So the tank rehab, they're considering that a rehab project, or a maintenance project. So it didn't qualify for most grants, but we are looking into those, so.
Thank you.
Any other questions for staff? Any
Well,
further comments?
Yeah, while everybody's thinking, I just wanted to kind of answer that question from a moment ago, maybe a little bit better. And so the reason why I hesitated was because the budget, the question was, is that 1.13 million for CIP, is that included in the budget? And so we're proposing to include it in the PHWA budget now. This is a better answer than what I said before, is we're proposing to include that in the PHWA budget now, and then it would be funded from the water funds fund balance, which has funding available. And I think one of the key things Ashley had said that I want to highlight is what we're proposing doing a little different from in the past is because we know that there's big projects coming up for the next 2 years, is we're proposing sort of paying for them, asking everybody to pay for them upfront so we can get to work on them rather than just like billing it monthly and then having to wait till the end of the year to do the project. So that's the longer answer to yes, it's in there, sort of, mostly.
Yeah, that's helpful.
Okay.
Can I add one thing to that I failed to mention? You reminded me. Also, we are asking for that CIP funding up front, but please note that that obviously will be included in our annual year-end true-up should the CIP figure change. Should we not spend some of that, if there's a project delay or some other reasoning that we were a little off on that figure, that amount would still be included in our usual true-up where we make sure that we're only exactly charging for the annual expenses.
Thank you.
All right. Anything else on this item? All right, so we have a recommendation to the PHWA Board to review and adopt the proposed FY 25-26 PHWA Operating and Capital Improvement Projects CIP budget, the proposed fixed and variable water rate components, and a lump sum CIP upfront payment. May I have a motion?
Yes, I move to adopt the budget.
Second?
Any further discussion? Oh, do I need to ask for public comment on this?
No public comments.
All right.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Hearing none, motion passes unanimously with Vice Chair Thomas absent.
Very good, thank you very much. Thanks for the cost savings also, that's doing good work in the grants, we're
And the
going on the
grants.
grants, it's great.
Can't forget the grants.
Okay. All right, I guess that brings us now to agency member reports, comments, and requests for future agenda items. All agenda items will require a motion, a second, and a majority vote to be placed on the future agenda. Any directors have any reports, comments, or requests? Okay, hearing none, we'll go ahead and adjourn the meeting. Next meeting is scheduled for Monday, July 21st, 2025 at 4 PM. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you.
4:20. Oh, okay. I'm signing this with a black pen. Is that okay? Oh, that's okay.
Is,